Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast, Season 5, Episode 15, Phantasm. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast, so what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. and if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past every Monday once again at 8 p.m. Central. I am your head camp counselor, Duck. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We got Raph, no warning shots. Warning shots are bullshit. Ramirez. Raph, how are you doing, sir?
Fantastic, sir. Thanks for bringing me back.
Fuck yeah, dude. Welcome back, and welcome back to everybody. Next, we've got Crux. It was probably just a gopher and heat. Crawford. Crux, how are you, sir?
I'm like a gopher in heat, baby. I'm ready to go.
With that said, it's Jay. I don't get off on funerals, man. McClintock. Jay, how are you, sir?
I'm doing very well, very well. I got to catch up with this one just yesterday on cable TV of all places. I actually had to skip through commercials. It felt very, very 90s. It felt very appropriate. Took me back.
And finally, we got David. The game is finished. Now you die, Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
Man, I am stressed the fuck out.
Those banana Reese's, whatever you're getting, makes a lot more sense now. So
This movie did it.
hopefully we won't stress you out too much by talking about this piece of shit. Release date March 28th, 1979. We watched Phantasm. Release date March 28th, 1979. Running time 89 minutes. Budget 300,000. Total box office 22 million.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
What? Talk to
Whoa.
me, dude.
Wow.
Line about the movie. If you're going by dollars and cents, that's a
Holy
smash.
shit. That's a lot of
that is
disco and
smash
coke money.
hit.
Oh, I'm
That's-
sorry. It says
that's-
22 million and or 6.8 million.
I go with the high one.
Yeah,
I go with the high one. Gotta go high. Gotta give him the over. Gotta give him the over.
Or
That's the way it works. All right, synopsis. A teenage boy and his friends face off against a mysterious grave robber known only as the Tall Man, who employs a lethal arsenal of unearthly weapons. That's definitely not the movie I watched. I don't know what this is talking about, but that's not the movie I watched. All right, let's check out the trailer, and it's a classic trailer for it. So let me know if everyone can hear it whenever it comes up. That music.
Yep.
Dude.
Phantasm.
Oh,
Is it a nightmare? Phantasm.
I was going to show all the good
Is it
shit.
an illusion?
it's still an awesome trailer, though. This is a world-class trailer.
Yeah, that light
it
turning
an
one was
evil?
really worth the time there, Jay.
I'm telling you, the trailer works.
Yeah, that works for me right there.
You have to take me home. But why? No questions. You must take me home.
A little young for that.
Phantasm. Is it a fantasy?
Okay, I didn't have time to read the IMDb trivia. I really wish I would have. Is the director the same guy who plays, what's his name? Balding. that guy.
Reggie?
Yeah, Reggie.
no.
That's
no.
not Don
Oh,
Coscarelli, no.
No.
Okay. That's
Don
the only-
Coscarelli was too busy directing it, writing it, doing the music, editing it, filming it, and
Jack of all
Riding it
trades,
again.
man. He was like a John Carpenter light.
Yeah,
I think you could say for
very
sure.
light.
very light.
Yeah.
Is it a fantasy?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I swear to God, every visual effect has been in this trailer. And I've seen the same shot over and
Phantasm.
over again.
Is it alive?
There was nobody driving.
All right, that's enough of this. Okay. All right, let's talk.
Enough of this shenanigans.
Yeah, I've seen it, and we're going to see it again in clips, so we don't have to see it. All right, let's talk history with the movie. Other than Jay, does anyone have history with this movie?
Yes.
Ooh, David, what is your history, good sir?
My history is this was one of those films growing up in a small town that did not come out in the theaters and that you just heard about with your friends. Basically, it's the one shot, the money shot of this movie is what sold it to everybody, which was the ball would drilling into the guy's head, and
Yeah.
so that you had heard about it on the playground, and so you had to go to like the weird mom and pop store that had the obscure horror collection, and I found it one day, and it's got that amazing poster.
Oh,
The
dude.
VHS thing on the poster was great, and so I didn't see it until this came out in '79. I think
Yes.
it did. Also, same year as Alien, so much fucking better.
Oh,
Um,
my gosh.
but I didn't see it until like the mid '80s, and I mean, I really enjoyed the ball and the tall man
Yeah.
and the gore, and I kind of dug the song that came out of nowhere where they were jamming. I was like,
Yeah.
I want to hear a studio version of that song.
Yeah.
But everything else, man, was just so fucking weird and bad acting. But I have to just give kudos to the guy. He ended up making a shit ton of money, making a career, doing 4 of these, I guess, and then having an iconic '80s bad guy, the tall man. You know, I know he's not up there with Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers, but man, he's pretty fucking close.
He's got the body count, man. Look at what he does. If you look at he could have done that in the thousands. All the little dwarves and
But
whatnot.
he's got like
Spoiler.
3, right?
His
in
numbers
this
could be
movie.
planet big, you know?
There's 4 Phantasm movies.
Yeah.
No, there's 5.
Other 5. Sorry.
But
Yeah,
You talking about body count, Ducky?
yeah, body counting only gets
Okay.
3 people in this movie, or 4 people, or 5. I don't know what happens in the ending, so I'm not sure.
It's
Anyhow.
very confusing.
I want to talk about the real star of Phantasm and to a young boy like myself getting into cars. Holy shit. This one's got like horror movie vehicle royalty in it with this 71 CUDA. Let me give you the specs on this car. Let me give you the specs on this car. The last one to sell at auction, which was like this, 4-speed manual, complete numbers matching 71 CUDA. I think it sold for like $2.4 million.
Oh my God. Jesus.
And it had nothing to do with the movie. It just a
badass
by the numbers car. Yeah, that's a specimen right there.
Well,
It
Jay,
reminds me of like a Mad Max car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's ready.
But better.
But dude, you think about this. You think about how much of this inspired Supernatural. That entire fucking TV series owes a lot to this kind of camaraderie building they do in this. This brotherly stuff, along with the badass car, and they use the music, and it's cool. It's cool. It's really what you'd call cool guy horror. This is very much like, it's very, there's a lot of machismo going on in this one. You know
I also
what I mean?
think this is really classic grindhouse horror.
Yes,
because
yes,
I feel like
absolutely.
this was a movie that played a lot in drive-ins.
Yeah.
It was definitely made in
Definitely has that vibe.
Yeah. Jay, what's your history with it? When did you first see it?
No, I mean, I've probably seen bits and clips from Phantasm 2 more than any of them when I was a kid, just because it was always previewing on like Showtime, but I never saw it. But when I was 13, I finally got to see the first one, and to see Michael as a 13-year-old kid, I was also 13 years old, and the movie's a lot about death and accepting death, and I dealt with a very personal death with my dad, and so this movie kind of like it's kind of those movies that find you in life, I guess is a good way to say it. Like it catches you at that right moment where it, like, I think it benefited me in a good way. I think it just it helped me like understand a lot of things about transitions and whatnot, as far as like growing up and whatnot, without a parent. And so it just, I don't know, I really kind of got the whole fever pitch of it. I could really get into that mindset of what Michael may be going through. And it was just really cool to see a kid who was just,
real quick, say hi to Puppy.
Hey, Puppy.
Hi, puppy. Is that a new puppy?
That's new Puppy.
Nameless
New puppy.
I think we're going with Gizmo.
That's good one.
Gizmo. So you found that this helped you kind of understand transitions in life, and
It really matured me. Like the fact that the Michael can work on a car, but he's not like showing off that he's doing it. You know what I mean? It's not like a Disney movie where the kid has to fucking have a parade around him while he's, changing a spare tire. He's like, oh, I gotta fix this camshaft. I hope it's good enough for my super cooler brother.
yeah.
Well, also you felt like he was doing it out of necessity.
Yeah.
Survival, I thought he was breaking the car so his brother couldn't leave, and that's
a hot take. That is a hot take I've heard many times before.
Yeah. Well, that's Raph Crux. Do you have history with it? It's first time seeing it.
No, this is my first time watching it.
All right, cool. Let's get into talking about it then. Was he? All right, what the fuck was going on? What was real? What wasn't real? Like, I was bored until the very end. I didn't really know what happened. I was totally confused by the ending, but we'll get there. This movie was extremely boring. I don't know what to say. Like,
I don't think it was completely boring, but it was confusing. Because it started off really well. Like the guy's getting laid in the cemetery and then he gets killed. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be a good one. But then it turns to shit almost immediately because now you're following that little boy who's probably autistic, and that's why he's working on the fucking car, chasing his brother down when his brother's riding the bike, he's fucking running behind him.
Yeah.
It was just, and then another thing, why do they keep going to the cemetery to get laid? What is
Stop.
It's the spot, man.
They're always going back to that fucking mausoleum, and I'm like, this is where bad shit happens. Let's continue to go back.
It's worth it. It's always worth it.
It's a constant B&E.
They always make you say like, every time they have sex there, the girls are hyper sexualized. So of course all the men heroes are like, yeah, let's do it. That's
But cool. I love also in that opening sex scene at the beginning of the movie, like that guy is having sex like every single guy in every 80s and 80s horror movie. He's like horrible at sex, obviously, but he's somehow getting laid. Like every guy in a fucking horror movie is always on the bottom going, oh it's like half drunk, half stoned. It's like
it's because they're written by dudes.
How the fuck is this chick fucking? I don't get it.
Pleasure me, woman. Pleasure.
And then that's another thing. Was the girl really the old man?
Right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. Okay.
Just a no kind of resolve. Just a peekaboo.
That was one of his powers. He could be an extremely sexy woman with nice
because if so, this was one of the first horror movies.
Yep.
Well, the first
that's why Jay was saying he believes in trances or what?
Transylvania? Is it the first trans character in a horror movie? Because technically that counts, right? Isn't that what you said, Crux?
I was saying this is one of the first trans activist horror movies, if that's the case. And what year did Rocky Horror come out?
Oh, like 73, I think.
What about Dress to Kill?
I don't know.
Jay didn't know.
I didn't know.
Point to Jessup. Point to Jessup.
Point Jessup. I got
Jessup.
We're not here for this.
No, but seriously, that makes no sense because the way you look at the legs laying, she couldn't have been straddling him, and like the whole thing makes zero sense. And I clipped it, and I'm totally confused, and thus begins the confusion of the entire fucking movie for me.
From scene one.
Scene one,
dude.
Yeah,
that's a big one, yeah.
The idea that the brothers, I'm guessing the guy gets killed in the beginning is their brother also. Was that what it was, or was he a friend?
I think it was a friend.
I think it was friend, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The friend funeral brought everyone back to
They're
town.
like, that's the end of this trio or whatever.
At Dunes. I want to go. Who wanted to go grab a beer at Dunes after watching this movie?
Fuck that. I wanted to grab an ice cream and listen to Reggie just fucking rock out on his acoustic guitar.
The most content ice cream man of all time. It's not ironic. He's like, this is what I do. It's the summer.
I do, man.
It's
you know what? This gives me the freedom. Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I got this case that holds my guitar. It's on my ice cream truck. So when I see my friend, I can jam up there and be like, what we doing, bro? Oh, we're doing tunes? I'll just follow you along.
Yeah. He's the Pied Piper of ice cream.
That's a good song. Like I want to hear that song with distortion. I love that song.
I've totally clipped the song too.
Musical remake, guys. Is this where it begins?
This is where we all. This is what we do. We all do a Phantasm band, but we only play one song, and it's that song. And then
3 hours.
We play the 4 notes that are in the score for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Was this movie just an excuse to have that awesome fucking score? Because
absolutely, man. This seemed like such a passion project, like someone was gonna have fun with this movie.
Yeah.
It was all locals, right, Jay? It was all locals. Yeah,
tons of locals, man. It was just super cool, man. It was just I just thought it was a really cool kind of story. I kind of felt like a ghost story in the fact that you got mysteries. I was a big, I have to admit, at this point in my life, I was a big sucker for anything that involved like mysteries, like anything involving like kids my age, like having to, deal with horror. You really identify when characters are the same age as you. It's a brilliant marketing strategy.
And that's what's so funny is a lot of these movies in the 80s were marketed toward like 14 and 15-year-old kids, but they were all rated R.
Yeah. This one. I mean, Squad was.
Jay wanted to grab a beer. David wanted to grab an ice cream. I wanted to get a shotgun and put it in my fucking mouth.
Here's the thing about back in the day, man, is that there was horror to me was a lot like nudity and porn. And I didn't have Playboy, but what I had was Fangoria. And Fangoria was the gateway to the VHS tape. So I would get Fangoria out and they would have a cover of the sphere with the drill coming out, and you would open it up and there'd be like shots from the movie. And that's how I would hear about, and also that the playground or just the people talk. Did you see that movie Phantasm? Fucking sphere comes out, drills in the head. And that's all. They're not talking about the nuances of the script because there isn't any.
None.
You just went to watch it, and that was the money shot. Basically, horror was porn and the gore was the money shot.
And you know what else? Back then, back in the day, what you could do is
back in the day.
The thing is, there were so many mom and pop stores as well with regular video stores that you had a huge influx. So you could watch all this crossover stuff that you could never really see because it never got any exposure. So it was this kind of stuff was like it was must watch. I could imagine. Would you agree, Jessup? At the time,
dude, at the time,
you did not want to miss this.
This was right up there with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was a movie you could not find, and it was like super. It had like this lore about it. But then, watching it today, it definitely does not hold up.
Nope.
But there are some scenes where the tall man's walking in slow motion. That's a great shot.
Timeless.
Yeah, that's a really, really good shot.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And anytime he's on screen, he's definitely demanding your attention.
Yeah.
But that first time when they're driving down the highway, that's a really badass action shot too. When it's fucking skidding like it is, and you're like, what the hell? And it's Michael driving, dude. Okay, yeah. You want a recipe in 1979 to hook an entire section of the audience? Have a fucking 14-year-old kid drive the coolest fucking machine on the road, and mom, dad, I want to be that guy. Boom.
The tall man perspective is completely off though, because whenever the one guy is looking at the casket of his father or looking at the grave thing in the wall, he comes up to him and he's like 18 feet tall and looking down at him. But then he's chasing the kid, and the kid's literally like a half a foot shorter than him. And I'm like, his perspective is all over the place. I mean, like, I know he's a shapeshifter, and I get it. He's tall, and he's got dwarfs, and something weird's going on. But it was really all over the place.
Okay, so what is the story? What is the story?
The story is this little annoying kid runs around, follows his brother as he's doing shit. His brother locks him in his room over and over again, says, you can't come with me, goes and does nothing. The kid shows up and has the adventure. Stupid. The whole thing's stupid.
So my take is the tall man is taking the cadavers, making them into dwarves, and sending them into another universe to use them as slaves. That's what I got from it.
I think you're
right.
I think that was it.
Okay, but then the fucking ending just ruined it for me.
It was all a dream.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Who fucking knows, dude?
That's tough to tell.
I really would like to have an answer on what exactly.
I think that was on purpose, man. I think he meant
not in a good way though.
He meant to piss people off.
He was a disruptor. It got 4 sequels.
Do the sequels explain anything, Jay?
Not really, man.
They get worse.
I'll tell you what happens. Okay, because I got them all memorized, and I'm very ashamed of that. But the second one, they had to recast Michael with Stephen LaGrosse, who everyone says looks kind of like Brad Pitt. And then had all the other actors come back. It was more Hollywood. It had a pretty big budget. I want to say
it did
like 10 million or something like that.
I saw that in the theater opening night.
It was big budget, man. They used.
Yep.
If you thought this one had effects, that one had like legit effects. But it wasn't as good.
They had 3 balls. They each had a different personality.
David, I would argue it's not as good as the first one.
No, it's not.
Not at all.
$2.9 million for Ball. Budget $3 million. Box office $7.3 million.
Yeah, and dude, look up Phantasm 1 did. Just smash that.
Yeah.
Smash it. Okay, and then the third one, straight to video, and they never looked back, man. They got a few art releases, and then they finished up with Ravager, and it was like basically a fan film send-off, but it gives a conclusion.
I mean,
the battle for balls continues. Spoiler.
Want to give a shout out to Betty real quick. She says, Betty, this is Betty. So glad you are back. So, right.
Oh, thanks, Betty.
Yeah.
Very sweet of you.
Yeah, but other than that, like the effects were only halfway through and they were so sparse. But like I said, the trailer showed all the good effects. Like whenever
it really did.
Yeah, like I mean, there's interesting concepts and things done on the cheap, like the hands coming out of the mud. That's such a cheap effect, but
they could have given you a little bit. They gave you just about, would you say about 60% too much?
Yeah, I would say the best scene between the orb and the head would be him MacGyvering the shotgun shell.
Dude, I was wondering like if they got any lawsuits because of that.
Probably. What are you thinking, Raph?
So I think my favorite scene was when he cut the fingers off, and then the finger in the box turns into that little monster. That's that little jump scare you get there.
Yeah,
and it's on the back of his head, and then they can't control it, and then it goes down the sink, and it was a whole fucking scene. But the fingers getting cut off and then doing that was really cool. Other than the sphere, that was the main thing about this movie. And then the way the sphere got took down was ridiculous. You're a supernatural sphere. Why couldn't you just like dodge a buckshot?
And it's got Virtual Boy vision. It's all red and stuff like that is the way you see. So, well, Crux,
way ahead of its time.
You haven't got a chance to talk much. What did you think about the movie? Did any of it work for you?
My favorite part, like we were talking about at the beginning, was the soundtrack. Like it was cool. Like I got like a lot of the same opinions as a lot of you guys. I'm with you, Ducky. Like my favorite was when there was the Wildcat battle. That was probably my favorite.
The cougar. Yeah. I literally freeze framed that, and I was like, "This is the scariest part of the whole fucking movie." Right
Dude, I get it, man. All the criticisms are 100% true. It's not an easy movie to defend, but I love it.
It's one of those things, man, where it struck a nerve.
Absolutely,
you know, it struck a nerve, and it created this iconic character and the spear. there's something so horrifying about this fear, and it looked really cool the way it came around the corner, and it was
like
just silver and.
It's like the premise of a good joke is there or a good movie is there, but like there's no follow through, there's no punchline or tag.
Oh man, this had the potential, like with a big budget and a really good director, and a story that's could have been really good. Because I like the idea of like people like disappearing or like being murdered, and then you find out there's nothing in their their crit or their casket anymore. Yeah, that I think it's a really cool idea, but man, the midgets was weird. I'm sorry, little people were weird.
The dwarves.
I meant to say the Jawas.
No hard ET, dude.
Yeah,
they were Jawas. They were Jawas, right?
The
they
Jawas
really
were
were
weird. Yeah. And the scene in the Volkswagen was very weird, man.
When the girl opened the door.
Yeah, that was weird. And then when you're talking about the bug fighting them, that was very Evil Dead-esque. The way they were like just bouncing around.
This came out before Evil Dead.
Still,
there you go. There you go.
This has so many like good elements of like all those classic late 70s and 80s horror movies. It just has like all those elements there. It's kind of interesting. I'm surprised I didn't watch it.
I think I'm right on that. I'm gonna see if I'm right.
I mean, honestly, what was with the daughter or the grandmother and the granddaughter scheming with the psychics, and at the end she's like, "Got him."
The weekend at Bernie's fucking grandmother.
What was that?
Rolled her out in the wheel,
and then she goes to the house and she gets turned into a dwarf. I was so confused.
Yeah, that was very. There's a lot of confusing moments in this movie.
But here's the other thing: this movie is wonderful with it sets up something, it pays it off. Even so much as having the what's that called, the tuning fork, and then that paying off later. I was like, all right, this is all right. You brought in.
I think another thing they just decided to have fun with the budget was just like, you know what? Let's just have them ride the motorcycle through the cemetery. There's not a necessity for that, but let's just go ahead and do it.
And also, we can't afford an actual cemetery, so get some styrofoam headstones.
Well, here's the thing, guys. I think Reggie and Jody were both actually the musicians as well, so they were literally doing double duty. You're like, come on, dude, hurry up. We gotta write 7 bars by midnight.
I tell you what, Reggie makes the bald head with the ponytail good, man. He pulls it off.
He does pull it off. He's a ladies' man later on, too.
Yeah. He's the ice cream man.
Yeah.
He could have been his own, like how The Conjuring has spinoffs, like The Nun and stuff like that. They should have spun off and said, Reggie, your dog just scared the shit out of me, David. I did not expect for a dog head to come up into the. I think I'm giving your dog a horror movie.
Hey, just like I want to see an Alan spinoff from Barbie, I want to see a Reggie spinoff from
Phantasm. It's not too late. It's only 50 years later.
I think it would work because he technically didn't get stabbed in the end if he was there kind of being pedophilic with the kid.
Dude, okay, that was weird.
I'm happy
that was very
not
weird
the only one.
End. Yeah, that was very. Hey, don't worry. I'll try to be like I'll try to be like your brother and your father. Make out.
And then he's trying to take him on a road trip. He's like,
you want to go on a road trip where you'll be away from other adults?
Just grab your skeebies and let's go.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's
what was the scene in Alien? You ever watch a Roman movie before, Jimmy?
Airplane. Hey,
you like to wrestle? Do you?
Yeah. I mean, he did have it. But the older brother did have the underwear in his mouth at one point, and I was like, "Wow, that is comedic."
Dude, how bad of an actor was that older brother?
He was bad.
He was pretty bad.
The kid was bad though.
I don't know.
I thought Reggie was great. I thought the kid was really good. Yeah, but that older brother, man, he was too hot. He was like, all my energy is spent being attractive. I can't. Yeah. I can't act.
More like David
my favorite actor had to be the grandma.
But how iconic does the tall man become? Like
oh my God, he's terrifying,
pure villainous. Like it's awesome, and like
he is like the second tier. Like Dak Prescott's a second tier quarterback. The tall man's a second tier villain of the '80s, a bad guy.
But he definitely relishes the fact that he's evil. There's no good to him whatsoever, and so I like that. Did the sequels go into his backstory at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially 4. Especially 4.
The last one.
No, it's the second to last one. It's called Oblivion. It came out in 1998. It's Joe Bob did it on the last drive-in, and he said the same thing, and I'll say the same thing. They spent a lot of money on the second and third movie. Then the fourth one, they're like, dude, just pull back a little bit. And of course, it's considered the second best in the entire series behind this one because it has heart, it has soul. So anyway, yeah, that's it definitely talks a lot more about the Tall Man. You do get there is a payoff, but man, they make you wait damn 20 years.
All right, are we really gonna watch all 4 of them? What's the
definitely
payoff?
Don't you dare, guys.
Okay,
let's kill it here. I promise you, y'all will not. No,
not
sir.
miss out on anything. What's the payoff?
I mean, at least the second one has good like spear kills, right, Jay?
Well, it's a popcorn movie. If you watch Phantasm 2 as a popcorn movie in the 80s and you don't like it, I'm not 100% sure we can be friends, but we will definitely stay acquaintances.
I enjoyed it. I saw it in the theater and I enjoyed it because it was real gory.
I'm not that serious, but I really do enjoy that one. I think it's a very guilty pleasure of mine.
And as far as this movie goes, if you take out the cursing, it could have been PG-13 except for the blood geyser. That was the only thing that was like, I think, keeping it R.
Was there any nudity? Because
there were.
There were boobs.
Yeah, plenty. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was a running thing.
Offset big boobs.
Grindhouse.
I agree with David. They were a little bit loppy.
No, but they were pretty. They're awesome.
How many times did you rewind this movie, Jay?
No.
Pause.
Nah. But no, just I'm saying, like, it's just a fun series. God bless.
Well, is there anything else we can say about the movie? Is there anything else that sticks out to you guys? Anything at all?
I mean, what else did this guy do besides all Phantasm? He did something else, didn't he, Jay?
Yeah, he did. He directed Bubba Hotep.
That's right, which is a great movie.
Totally worth your time.
Bubba Hotep is an amazing movie.
He's done a few movies. He did a movie, I think, about no, you have to look about.
You know what he directed? The Beastmaster.
The original.
That's right. Holy shit. With the loincloth.
John dies at the end. He has a thing for really bad looking props. Wow. Like John dies at the end is a fun movie though.
Oh, he knows how to make a fun movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he made Survival Quest. I don't know what the hell that is. All right, well, let's move on to do we recommend it? Let's start with Raph. Raph, do you recommend this?
No. Do not waste your time. Do not watch this movie. I'll give you that. The Tall Man, he looks like an Undertaker. Like that's all he had going for him. Like if I saw him at the cemetery, I'll be like, oh yeah, that's that guy burying fucking people. But other than that,
no one talks about his feat of strength when he picks up the coffin.
There was nobody in it.
It's still 400 pounds.
There was still nobody in it. I
love the scene before they set up how heavy it is by showing them carrying it, and then all of a sudden you just get him, picking it up like
sets you up. It sets you up for a big payoff. It definitely does. It definitely does.
The kid outran him. He was weak. He was not a good evil person.
And how about the rocks at the end? Like.
Crushing him.
Get the clips like that. The rocks would have crushed the kid.
Y'all sort of got the clips. I'm down to get a clip.
I got some. That. Crux, do you recommend it?
So this is my answer. I would say I would recommend it if you are looking for a horror movie that has foundational elements of your classic 80s-esque horror movie soundtrack.
The
plot line, the sex scenes, the violence scenes, etc. If you're looking for that kind of horror movie that has those foundational elements, I would recommend it.
It's also, what I bet? I'm going to throw this out there. I bet this is probably a good first one to like introduce somebody to horror with. It's like not too overbearing.
Especially that era.
Yeah, I think it's a good like starter kit movie. I'll give that for that.
With that,
that's my answer.
Starter kit movie. David, do you recommend it?
The thing is, the only people I would recommend this movie to are people that have already seen it. Yeah. Like it's definitely I don't think an A24 generation is going to appreciate this type of movie. This is a 80s grindhouse back of the VHS store movie. you know.
And you
And
guys
so
said it
no.
earlier. I could see this being a grindhouse movie where it like
Oh,
it really,
this is being played at the drive-in, man.
yeah, totally, 100%.
Yep.
But you don't recommend it otherwise.
No, not really. I mean, I have nothing but total respect for the filmmaker for doing it on the cheap and for just turn that. Oh my God, the amount of money he made
Yeah,
from what it
Brilliant.
cost and coming
That's
up with a
insane.
unique. And that's the thing too. This is a unique character, and
Yeah.
the sphere is even though it's not in it that much, it's a character on its own. You know, the tall man is great. So yeah, but still, man,
They
it's
built a
bad
lore,
movie.
dude. They built a whole ass. Okay, guys, let's just think about that for a second. It's a horror movie. Okay? Let's just talk basic ass storytelling. In 90 minutes, this movie set up a whole goddamn lore.
Yep.
They fleshed out a lot of shit for a 90-minute movie. That's all I'm gonna say. They gave you a lot of information.
it's a good
Yeah.
build up to something, but there's no payoff.
I'd agree.
This is
Well,
total
the acting-
foreplay. I'm
The
not
acting is
coming.
real. The acting is so bad at
Oh, the acting is
sometimes,
horrible.
and
It is.
the editing, the
Yeah.
pacing is pretty bad. But again, man,
I'm just talking about by the numbers they did it. I'm not saying if they did it well. I'm
Yeah.
saying like the action was done. That's all I'm
Oh,
saying.
I have nothing but respect for somebody who took a bunch of nobodies, and he was nobody, and made $22 million in 1979.
Jesus, yeah.
Not bad.
That's
That's
something you
fucking
fucking.
awesome.
That's something you talk. You talk.
And
You talk
and
about.
also, it's a movie that everybody knows, even if they don't know the movie. Phantasm, that's a word everyone knows, and that poster is iconic.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
so
my
great.
background on my laptop right now.
That's awesome, dude.
There really is something you have to appreciate, man. Like how rarely did movies like this now make that kind of money. That's
Yeah,
really
and make that impact.
right.
You know,
Yeah, it made an impact for sure.
Did the score on this sound like Friday the 13th or Halloween? Yeah, Halloween.
I don't know. It came
Like
out
there at the end, it's kind of.
It might have borrowed from Halloween, but it came out before Friday.
Came out around the same time.
Because
It
it
came out
sounded.
before.
That's the only thing I was thinking
79.
about when I heard that
Wait,
at the end.
First
I was
Halloween
like,
was 79 as well, right?
Yeah, I think
Yes.
as I was saying, no, the Halloween was 78, so I think
Yes.
it came out
Fuck, it
after
was, huh?
Halloween.
Okay.
so
came
I'm
out
gonna
after
say they
Halloween.
stole
Very
it
close.
from
Very
it.
close.
But
Same era.
before it came out before Friday the 13th. They came out in 80,
Okay.
and
Yes.
Evil Dead came out in 80/81. So both those
Right.
movies back in line after Phantasm. Thank you for playing. Nice to see you.
I'm gonna
Talk
go
to me.
next. I'm not going to recommend it because I didn't enjoy it as much as I think most people would. But I think for people like us, horror movie fans, it's a high recommend. Like you have to see it.
Right.
And I'm intrigued by seeing the sequels to it. Jay, I'm gonna let you finish off and recommend because I want you to have this is your baby. You love this.
No, I mean, I had a very personal connection to the movie. Had some great relationships in my life around this time. Movie just hit me at the right time, and it's growing well with me. I put the old nostalgia glasses on for it, so yeah, I think it's kind of like a movie. It's a tough movie to watch when you're older for the first time. I definitely would say kind of like Goonies, things like that.
Yeah.
This is kind of the way it is for horror movies. If you're in the area, you could really appreciate a movie with this kind of pacing. Seeing you didn't see kids in this kind of danger like at his age ever.
I think that if I was a kid and I watched this, I would have related to him completely. And
it's a scary story if you look at it from Michael's. If you can get into Michael's head and like be his age when you watch this the first time, you go, "Fuck, this is exactly how I would feel." Seriously,
yeah, especially getting crushed under the car for a second. Sweet Jesus, that was wild.
absolutely, man. So yeah, it just that's the kind of stuff just really struck with me, and he liked working on cars, and after my dad did pass, I did start liking really to like cars more and more. I had that big teen had to buy every car magazine like phase, like I'm gonna buy any of them, but yeah, it's something that's a passion, so I like that kind of stuff. It's and the bonding and all that stuff. It's just cool stuff. But yeah, I mean, I totally get it, man. The movie is it's whatever you want it to be, man. It's really there are no rules with the Phantasm. However you interpret it, you are right.
Well,
you are right. You are
we're about to
whatever you say. You're right.
all over again. Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast. So let's get to these clips. Y'all ready? Legs don't work like that.
The first scene.
They don't. Like, look how her legs are.
I was going to say something.
Yeah. It seems like she's pegging him. Look at that handlebar mustache. Oh, that dude just fucked him.
I get it. Rap immediately.
Weird entrance. This is so unique. One thing I did like about this movie is the symmetry of it. There's a lot of scenes where you have like a person on one side or an object on one side and it mirrored on the other. I thought.
That's what this was.
Yeah, like what?
Oh, so it's a two-part scene. Okay.
Yeah, just a weird entrance, but like disrespecting graveyards. Yeah. Who does this?
Their graveyard is one of the best graveyards ever.
Made of cardboard.
Autistic kids.
Autistic kids.
The tall man.
The funeral is about to begin, sir.
Bitch, don't touch me.
Why are you looking at him through the rearview mirror?
Sir.
And you tell the tall guy I'm coming for him.
They do this well where it looks really heavy here. Like, oh, fucking ducks in the
They put a bunch of bricks in it.
Oh my God, Duck! You did not just say that. I hate you for doing that.
Creepy medium.
Grandmother is pleased you've come and wants to know what's bothering you.
I would totally be in love with that girl if I was a kid. I'm not
with that lie. Big old mole.
Yep, creepy girl, creepy house. Yeah, that's my type.
With the weekend at Bernie's grandmother.
Okay, who else thought that looked like Ozzy Osbourne?
I did.
It actually was.
I expect her to go buck at the moon.
That's great.
I mean, as it is,
Sharon.
He knows I'm gonna leave.
See, only autistic kids do this.
Look at that fake fence he's about to jump over.
I'm gonna miss him.
All right, this is a hilarious wipeout. I'm sorry, but he's going to do it. Well, geez, Willikers.
So the tall man caused that, right? Because he was watching him. So okay.
Yeah.
Wow, how'd you do that? Put your hand in the box.
Give me back my hand!
Don't fear.
Oh, it's not a mole, it's a star.
No, it's not a fucking moly mole. You've been watching
well, the grandma's got one on her forehead too, right there.
Yeah.
Or it might be a mole. I'm not
fucking witches.
Yeah, they're funny.
I like that she pulls her hand away like, don't touch my hand.
All in your mind.
You creepy old lady.
No, she touch her hand.
Jared.
She pulls her hand away quickly. Ice cream jam.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
You know these guys are having the time of their fucking life.
Freaking Dos Equis? What?
I had to keep all the jam in there.
David, could you tell how legit those guys are?
Dude, they were really playing that. Yeah,
oh, yeah,
they were great.
Crushed.
Porno music.
I love that song.
They're yeah. Ooh, wow, ooh, wow, ooh, wow, ooh.
The little beasties and or Jawas.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I don't know how they didn't get sushi. This is a mystery.
It sounds like the ET scream.
What the?
He just runs by him.
Wait, my little brother.
Yeah, wait here in the dark until I'm ready to give you my seed.
Give you your panties back, evidently. Terrifying. This legit scares me.
I'm gonna start grabbing at his heels.
No, whenever it just collapses on him, like holy fuck. That's
God.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like, and then did he imagine it? Because he smashed his foot.
A great reaction shot.
Yeah, he just.
I know, right?
All right, we got that coffin crouching. We all did it when we were kids. Has anyone ever laid down in an actual coffin before?
I have
No.
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 Okay.
Hard
That's-
pass.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who says he has.
Oh yeah.
He's dead now.
I know he's not.
Who is this other minion of his? Best
That's the-
part of the movie.
That was the guy who got killed.
Oh, okay. I was so confused on who it was.
His
There it is.
helper.
Yeah, he's the bad guy.
Right there, yeah.
He's the Bob the Goon.
Look at all that blood. Ew.
He's his Renfield.
Well, he's only in there for this scene, right?
Yeah.
What a waste of a character.
That's so badass.
You could really flesh this dude out.
It's just look,
Well,
and
if
then
you
at
read
the
the
end,
comics.
I get it.
I don't know if you got all the way to the end, but when he falls to the ground, he pisses on himself.
Yeah. Well, it makes you. I maybe think maybe he was like acid or something.
That was real piss.
It was piss.
Fingers.
Where'd he get the knife from?
Remember he took it with him.
He had
in
it,
his,
yeah.
pants.
Oh, okay.
Back in the 70s, everyone had like a machete with them at all
A
times.
Rambo
Yeah.
knife.
No one cared. No one cared. Oh, dude, you need to chop off a bad guy's fingers.
That's so good.
I
Yeah.
believe you.
So that was pretty cool right there, and it's still
Yeah, the same
moving.
That is
Oh,
the guys in Halloween 3.
You think that's honey mustard? What do
Yeah.
you think that is?
It's cellulite.
Fucking yellow glue.
Okay, I believe you. Jesus.
It could have
Let's
just
call
been the
Kid.
kid with his finger up through there, though, fucking with him.
I've got to.
Oh yeah, I've done that. I've done that before.
All right, you ready for the finger demon? Best part? Second
This is
best
my
part.
favorite part right here. Ah! Is it a giant fly? What is
They
it?
sell this finger. They sell this. They sell this pretty well.
Yeah, they sell it too well because this happened.
Yes. Yes, Duck.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh.
This movie just got 1,000 times better.
That's so great, dude.
Need to edit
If this
it.
was back in '86, I would like splice that in with the real movie and rent it out to people.
Show it in
Intend to
theaters
kill.
like that.
Intend to
Don't
kill.
shoot him, man. Unless you intend to kill him. No warning shots. Warning shots are bullshit. Shoot the
God.
Warning shots are for pussies.
Damn Jawas. Oh, you're gonna like this.
Bro, I do like how he blasts this one. Ooh.
Did you put that in there, you motherfucker?
I think it was Jawas too.
That's so great.
Action star.
This movie's so much better.
So I'm gonna give it. This scene was probably one of the better scenes where the car goes off and wrecks after blowing the engine up.
That must have been half their budget.
Well, actually, they didn't use. They used a Camaro, so they didn't touch that Cuda.
Oh, look at
Tommy.
that.
Tommy.
He was a midget or
Oh, come on!
a
Again.
dwarf. My bad.
Reggie speech.
What we gotta do is we gotta snag that tall dude and stomp the shit out of him, and we'll find out what the hell is going on up there.
He needs more ice puns.
Lay that sucker out flat and drive a stick right through his goddamn heart.
Yeah.
He should have said, "Drive a popsicle stick right through his damn heart."
Hey, how did that kid know to jump over that hole?
They set it up
talked
beforehand.
about it.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
set it up
Okay.
beforehand. Yeah,
That's one of those things you learn on the streets
yeah.
at Morningside.
Harry Potter photo.
This was a bad shot.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Look, you can see the
Yeah.
What is this? I don't even know what this is right here.
That's a what do you call it? A mask. You're
yeah.
masking it out.
Possession.
Why is so sad?
But David, for 1979, that's not bad.
Well,
This movie was never meant for 4K.
I would counter with this. You don't need to have him moving. Just show the picture.
Yeah.
I think showing the picture is creepier.
I understand I thought the execution was pretty well. I get the it could have done a little bit better. I'm just saying it was kind of new. I'm just saying that's all.
Well, especially a no budget film was impressive.
Yeah.
I thought that he was getting possessed here. I was totally confused. And Jawas just aren't scary. All right, Wayne and Garth. This is what this part reminded me of.
Oh God.
Duck, you're on top of your game tonight,
You're on
bro.
fire.
You're on fire with this one, man.
This is really good.
MacGyver.
Yeah.
Dude, how many kids blew their hands off
Yeah.
after watching this movie?
I never heard about that in the news, man.
I thought about that 100 times.
The old jump and explode.
Surely somebody got.
This is a hell of an explosion. A+ right there.
Oh yeah. That shit's real. That's in camera, boys.
That is in camera. Sample text. I don't know what that stands for. Oh, it's the Hunt for Red October filter.
It came out 11 years before. It's
also kind of like a precursor
Phantasm filter.
to the Howling and not the Howling, Wolfen and Predator. Like it was the first one that did that kind of
where did it start? Hoon Yan, how you doing? Phantasm, good to see you.
Skeet shooting.
Be in my trailer.
Uh-oh.
You know, my buddy has a life-size replica of that sphere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Does it have the prongs on it or the drill?
Yep.
Nice.
Wow.
Portal.
So is that a hell? Because he's on fire, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because they swat him down or something. The ET yell. There it is. Shock-O-Matic 5000. Suck-O-Matic 5000. Sorry.
And then what happened when it all went dark? 2 people ended up outside. Reggie's the only one there.
That was so fucking weird, man. That was very bad. Like, screw it.
100%. Reggie's dead.
They needed Reggie alone in that room, I guess.
Oh, man. He's the best actor in the movie.
I don't know. Look at this scene again.
Tall man traps.
You little shit. That was funny.
That's epic.
Boy.
Dude, that's
Look
a
out,
fucking
styrofoam.
awesome scene, man. But it looked badass in '79, bro.
And Poltergeist ripped it off.
Yep. The outside Kramer. Hey, Jerry.
That was weird.
That's a good one.
Deadified.
Hey, Jay. That's great.
All right, these boulders would have ran over the little brother, right?
He got out of the way?
No, I don't think, because he gets up at the end.
Like that one would have crushed him.
Indiana Jones totally ripped off that scene.
Hey, what if it did? Actually, it may have. I think didn't he get sued for that by maybe Don Coscarelli?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he won too. I think he won some money for that.
That's how he was able to make all the other sequels.
All those
those other masterpieces.
Yeah.
But Bubba Hotep's phenomenal.
This scene was
great, man.
too creepy.
Watch that.
So creepy. This is the creepiest, scariest scene of the whole movie.
Yeah, when he tells him his brother is dead.
No, when he tells him, like, "Hey, go grab your."
When he makes out with him.
All right, the final scare.
God. Jesus.
Boy.
Oh fuck. That's great though. He doesn't go after him. It comes from behind. Wow.
Nightmare on Elm Street ripped off that scene.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, you can, and it's Supernatural. Give me a fucking break.
Yep.
Totally took that whole mood of this whole thing. This movie inspired so many fucking things. That alone, I just think, even if it doesn't well, it definitely was the archetype. I'll say that.
Glad I know about it.
All right, well, that's Phantasm.
They had exposure.
Let's move on to recommendations. I'm going to recommend 2 movies because Portals to Another Dimension, I felt like there was a theme in this. So my first recommendation will be for House, which we watched on the podcast.
Oh, that's good.
And was it Robert Moore, Richard Mole? What's his name? God, who Bull?
William Cat?
No, the guy who's the bad guy in this movie.
Bull?
Bull from Night Court.
Yeah, I have
what is his name? Richard Mole?
Richard Mole.
Richard Mole. Yeah, he's
Richard
awesome.
Mole.
I really like House. I enjoyed watching it. We watched it.
House
I think
great.
it's fun. It's just a fun movie.
Richard Mole just had his 80th birthday in January.
Very nice.
Oh wow.
He needs to come back to Night Court. I think that's the show again. And my other is going to be The Gate, which I've never seen and I've always wanted to see. So I've never seen it before.
I don't think you're gonna like it then, Ducky. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know, man. It looks awesome. I'm pumped for it. So anyhow,
I hope you do. I really do. I hope you love it.
That's my recommendations. What do you guys got?
I'll recommend The Green Room.
Green Room. I've never seen Green Room, and I want to see it. So no spoilers, please.
Yeah, it's just about a punk rock that gets trapped in a fucking room and then they all die.
Thank you, Raph. Spoilers. All right. Why? Well, how did that connect to this one? Oh, I guess everyone does die in this one. All right. All right. Anyone else got a recommendation?
Have you guys
I'm looking for one right now. Oh, where is it? The Deadly Spawn.
Never heard of it. What is it?
It's a horror movie about basically it's just really bad. Hang on, I don't think I have it right. No, I don't have it right. Never mind. Scratch that.
Okay. Crux, would you say?
Have you guys done Critters yet?
We have not done Critters yet. I would love to watch Critters. We haven't done Puppet Master either. I would.
I was going to ask that too. That was going to be my next question.
Yeah,
Puppet Master and Critters. Those are some fun ones.
Yeah,
that's a double feature.
There's another one with a lot of sequels.
Yeah, dude.
What about you? Want to throw a little bonus demonic toys up in there?
I watch a little demonic toys. As long as it's versus Doll Man, that's all I care about, right there.
Doll Man.
Yeah.
And then we can watch Small Soldiers after that.
I mean, I'm down with that.
That's a great.
Literally was thinking about that movie the other day.
That is an awesome movie.
Is it Exorcist 3 where the Jesus fucking doll comes to life? Is that Exorcist 3?
No, it's not the doll, but it's a statue.
Or the statue, whatever, the statue. It's like
the biggest jump scare. The biggest jump scare in history. Yeah. That's the one. That's the one.
Okay, I got it, guys. It's The Deadly Spawn, and it's a meteorite crashes, and these weird creatures are in this basement, and it's really cheesy but gory special effects.
Sweet. I'm always down for a gore fest.
I'm going to send it the movie poster in the chat.
All right, sweet. And then, Jay, what you got? What's your recommendation?
Oh no! I mean, I pretty much
Phantasm 2, 3, and 4.
Not so much, but if you, I will tell you this: if you want to see how far a director can kind of grow, honestly, is go watch Bubba Hotep after watching this, and you'll see a director who's been listening for a while, because that's considered, like, by a lot of people, basically a modern masterpiece.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
It's just a fun adventure horror.
Yeah.
Like it's just you get to see Bruce Campbell as Elvis Presley, and it's not too ironic. It's
cool, man.
It's a cool movie.
It's very art house, isn't it? It's like an art house.
It's something to be proud of, Don Coscarelli. I'll say that. That's you did something. You did something there, as the kids would say. You did something.
And it's a huge cult following.
Yeah,
like massive cult following.
I don't think he's ever reached a bigger cult following than he got with Bubba Hotep. I don't know. He did have a few other really fun, legacies as well, I'm sure. But when I think of him, I think of how well he did with that. So
I mean, dude, if you're in the horror genre and you are a director and you can say I was responsible for Phantasm and Bubba Hotep, that's a pretty good fucking career.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Not a bad day of work.
Not bad at all. All right. Well, that is the end. So, Raph, tell them where they can find you on the internet.
So at Little House on the Parody, and you guys can catch me this Thursday at Dallas Comedy Club for the start of the Deep Ellum Comedy Fest. It's 3 days, about 60 comics, 3 different venues. And then September 30, I am doing Luke's Cinema Theaters. I'm doing a show there. It's pretty awesome. It's in front of the big movie screen, and then you're looking up at the audience. It's a really cool venue, September 30. But catch me this Thursday at DCC, please.
Very nice.
Awesome, man. Congrats.
Very nice. Crux,
that's hustling, man. Good hustle,
Raph
man.
getting it
Great
done.
hustle.
Crux,
What are you doing at DCC, Raphael?
What's that?
What are you doing at DCC on Thursday? What show?
He's watching other comics perform.
No, I'm on the lineup. I'm a feature.
Old man Jessup over here on the one.
Gotta keep him in line. These youngins coming up here.
I'm just going to the show, you know.
But don't worry about it.
I'm a feature for that show.
Very nice.
What's the name of the show, though? Which one is it?
It's the Deep Ellum Comedy Fest.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I definitely want to check that out. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's the Sean Trainer funniest comic at Deep Ellum.
I'm gonna be off on Saturday and Sunday, so I can definitely check some of that stuff out.
Do it
on the party. Crux, where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me all over social media at Crux Crawford. That's at CRUX Crawford. I have a podcast. It's called Crux Yeah.
Crux Yeah.
Some of you guys have been on it already. All of you guys are invited back and first time by all means. So that's everywhere. That's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that, and on YouTube as well. So that you can find me there.
What shows you got coming up?
This weekend I'm gonna be at Addison Improv. Opening for Paulo Francisco.
Boom!
Nice.
To be opening.
Boom!
I wanted that gig, you dick.
David, with that said, where can they find you on the internet?
Fucking trying to get homeless people kicked out of my mom's house.
Oh wow.
Shit.
You got squatters?
I have to go to Florida. We got a trial date set, so I'm going to be there for a couple weeks trying to get them fucking kicked out.
Oh yeah.
God damn, dude, that sucks.
So you couldn't do Crux's gig if you wanted to.
No, you couldn't have done. You can't. You couldn't do this weekend.
But I will say, Crux, that was for me one of the best shows I've ever had because Pablo Francisco brings my people out, which are middle-aged white people.
Nice.
So that's my demographic, and he's super nice guy, man. Very funny, and the crowd
watching that guy. I'm excited.
Dude, the crowd loves him, dude.
Yeah.
So it's really it's really good, man.
I'm excited.
I'm happy for you.
Jay, where can they find you in the internets? He's
What's
not
that?
there anymore. Where can they find you in the internets?
I'm just here on the Camp Slash every Monday. Ready to get back to work, everybody.
Right on.
Oh,
and you can find us here at wearepodcast.podbean.com, where you can find all the podcasts. This being pretty much the only one at this point. You can also check us out on the web at wearepodcast.com. We Are Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and you find us next Monday for Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past. I think next week's going to be my pick, and I'm picking Battle Royale. Does that work as a horror movie? I hope so. I've never seen it before, so
we're doing breakdown. So
yeah, dude, I can't wait for that. You know what? Fuck it, we might do that one next week. We'll figure it out here.
All right.
With that said, keep horror in your heart. Keep it in your heart. It feels good to be back, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed it. You had a good time. Yes. And with that said, we will cut the feed. Thank you guys so much for being here. And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp Slash Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, Heroes-Gyros, a Dungeons and Distractions side quest. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I hate being sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.